welcome to TRS Live. We are live overlooking the floor of the Reel Shot. I'm your host, Matt Trotz. We got a ton of awesome products and savings we want to bring to you today. But remember, if you're watching this on our Facebook page, YouTube, Instagram, I don't know where you're watching it, but all I know is you got to do this. You got to have another tab open so you can go to thereelshot.com, because all the products that we're talking about today are going to be available at thereelshot.com and with the awesome savings. And here's a little tidbit. If you are a Fixed TV subscriber, if you are a member on the Fixed TV platform, there will be a secret added to your monthly subscription that'll help you save as you're watching TRS Live. But man, we just got done with Memorial Weekend. It is getting to be nice out. There's a lot of awesome fishing coming forth, and that's where my next guest, Nick Schneiderwind's going to help me, because Nick, today we're going to talk about the salmon candy products. First, we're talking about a flasher. Then you and I are going to talk about a fly. But the first flasher that we're talking about is this one right here, Davey's Dream. And right here, right now, there's salmon are biting, lake trout. What's all going on in the Great Lakes where you might want to use Davey's Dream?
That's right. I mean, flasher fly has been one of the best ways to catch salmon in the Great Lakes for many, many, many years. And Davey's Dream is a great combination of green, blue, flashing UV. I mean, it's a great flasher.
It really is. And as I'm looking at it, I mean, like the iridescence and the colors of this. But first of all, I got to ask, okay, now this is not the bait. This is, what do you want? You want to call this? This isn't an attractant?
Attractant. It just gets the fish's attention from miles away. Like, if they can see this, I mean, you can see the Great Lakes has been so clear these last decade or so. It's been really cleaned up by the zebra mussel. So if you put this down there, you can literally see this for a long time.
Yeah, and to me, I mean, I'm trying to flash it. You and I were playing around with it a lot earlier. I mean, just look at the amount of flash. Okay, so this is it, how do you refer to this, Nick? So is this a chrome back or?
Chrome back, yeah.
A chrome back, and then we have the tape on the front. And like we mentioned, there's a spining to this bait.
Yep, ladder back.
Oh, that's what you, okay.
Yep.
Perfect. I love where you're coaching me on this stuff.
Yep.
A ladder back, and then we have some main color is green. So you and I were talking to, like, this doesn't simulate a bait per se, and it's more of a schooling effect. What is the kind of the main forage on the Great Lakes that salmon and trout are eating?
The alewives.
Alewives?
Alewives, yep.
And is this color scheme like represented in an alewife? Like they maybe give that schooling effect?
Not really. It's really just a flash to attract, like a school of salmon that are feeding on those alewives. That's what it's really gonna. That's really what it does.
And again, remember, we're talking about Davey's Dream. This is a salmon candy product. And for those who are interested right now, the search code is SCDD8 on thereelshot.com. So if you type in, again, it's SCDD8. That's where you're going to be able to find this Davey's Dream. This is a salmon candy product. But okay, so let's continue to talk about it. This is like a hardened plastic material.
Yeah.
And then what is like the mimic? Like we're playing around with it like this, but that's not what it does in the water, right?
It's erratic. It's really flashy. It really gets their attention.
And it's just all over the place, right?
That's all over the place, yeah.
And I mean, I'm looking at this. So this is an 8-inch flasher, right?
Yep, just standard 8-inch. That's about it.
8-inch flasher. So again, and we have the finning on the back here. We can see this here, but this is to help get the erratic motion in the water.
Creates the action.
Yeah. So when you're rigging this now, this 8-inch flasher is getting tied direct to the main line, right? On this portion of it?
Right, on this portion. So
I have it upside down.
Yep, so this is the top, ladder back's facing up.
Okay.
And then your fly is going to get snaked onto this spiral swivel here. And that's it right there. And your lead's going to be anywhere from 17 to 24 inches. I prefer 24 inches myself, but that's about it.
So so you mentioned this is more of a standard flasher, right?
Right. Yep.
In the 8-inch, and then if people are just kind of looking and interested in a standard flasher, this has more of this awkward design to it. Then there's, like you said, there was like a fish flasher.
There's fish flashers. There's a few different ones, Spin Doctors, but this is the standard 8-inch flasher.
Okay, so with the salmon candy pattern. Now, the cool thing about salmon candy is it's made around the Fox Valley. So
Right.
if you've been around the Fox Valley, around the Great Lakes area, the colors, the patterns on this are proven to work because this product is made around the Fox Valley.
Right. They're designed to catch fish on Lake Michigan right here by anglers that fish.
That fish. And like Nick, that's why we have you on here. You do a lot of Great Lakes fishing. You do a lot of Lake Michigan fishing. Salmon, you were telling me you were just out this last weekend kind of educating somebody.
Right.
And were these the salmon candy products? Were these something that this angler you were going out with was utilizing? Is this salmon flasher time right now?
Yeah, we only had 6 rods, just me and him.
Okay.
So what I really like to do with flashers is I like to put them on dipsies. That's just something.
Explain that to me.
Yeah,
I need to know what that means.
I mean, a dipsy is it's either braid or wire on a disc that planes it down and out of the boat, and it's just hanging there. So
with that combination and what we're looking for, because like the information right now, if you're watching this right now, we're hearing that this green ladderback pattern is on fire right now. This is a really good color, which is kind of awkward for this time of year.
Typically, blues early dominate, but I mean greens work great too, and it's really catching fish right now.
It really is. So again, if you're looking for Davey's Dream on the Real Shot website, that's SCDD8. And while you're there, I mean, don't just buy one, because like if you're a standard fisherman, if you're a regular fisherman, you do buy 1 or 2, right? Just so you have a backup. If you're a salmon fisherman, you're buying how many?
If it's hot and I'm running 12 rods at a time, this could be on 6 rods.
6 rods out of this. So like, why would you not take advantage of the prices that you're seeing on your screen right now? SCDD8 is a product for Davey's Dream. This is a salmon candy product. Snatch that up right now and snatch about 6, 7, 8 more. I mean, litter. Because like storage of these things. Okay, so let's just ask a simple question. Are there tackle boxes? Like if somebody's shopping on the Real Shot website right now, are there proper tackle boxes for these or storage boxes?
There is. They're currently out right now, but we're working to get more.
So, but there is, and that's just a simple flasher box you referred to?
Slips right in there. It keeps them nice and organized.
Okay, so that's something that keep in mind when you're searching for these things. But we talked about the fact that this is a proven product made around the Appleton area, the Fox Valley area, the Lake Michigan area. So. Right. When you're fishing this and you're having really good success, you mentioned running the fly off of it, and you know running 24 inches. But like for this color, does the fly matter as much at that point, or is this
that's what's nice about the Davey is it's got blues, greens, and purples. So any of those flies would match that perfect. Like any of the blues, greens, flies would be perfect on the Davey.
Dude, like right now, if you look at this, Nick, like I'm attracted to this. Why would a salmon not be attracted to this? And look at this. And the other thing we were talking about too is, let's say you get stranded on Lake Michigan. Heck, we don't want that to happen. Man, you could call in an airplane from a mile away with these things. Look at this. I'm trying to hit the light just right. These things are awesome. But again, now, okay. I asked you a little bit earlier about a rod reel setup. You could have said you can run it on anything, right?
On anything, yeah.
But is there a line, or what if Nick's rigging you up right here on the Real Shot floor? What is a great rod, especially if you're running that dipsy setup that somebody might be interested in with a real combination?
So any of the, braid dipsy, wire dipsy. The wire dipsies have a roller tip on it, but some of the newer convectors has a full roller wire on it. They're great. I mean, and people typically use for the braid setup 40 to 50 pound Power Pro. Any braid will work, but Power Pro's been trusted for years.
So when I like that, because the cool thing about this is you're watching TRS Live is you're talking to a Real Shot employee right now. Nick is here, so if you had any other questions, you can hit up the Facebook page for the Real Shot. You could call the store, and you know that you're going to talk to Nick directly when it comes to Great Lakes. I mean, Nick is the Great Lakes specialist, but like I love having him here because here's my simple question: am I tying braid directly to this top portion, or am I snap swiveling this?
No, you can run another snap swivel. Great question. And I'm going to run a heavier duty swivel because these pull hard in the water. So I'm going to run a 70 to 90 pound swivel, and then that's what I'm going to tie the braid or my wire to, and then I'm going to snap it onto the top of the flasher.
And the other thing too about the snap, it just helps you change a lot quickly. So let's say for whatever reason, Davey's Dream is not the one that's catching the fish that hour or that day. Really simple, just snap it off, and you can throw on any of the other great salmon candy colors that you're going to see at therealshot.com when you're going around shopping around. But I like that. I mean, this is a really cool color. I like if you get it up close, you can see the iridescence in the color, the flash. Remember, this one has just got a bunch of erratic motion to it. Davey's Dream does. It's gonna do a great job. Now, when you're partnering a flasher, you're partnering it with a fly.
With a fly. Yep.
And now we have some of the flies here from Salmon Candy. What do we got here? So let's kind of, we're gonna have these. This is Davey's Dream again. One more time, SDD8. When you're searching on therealshot.com, and we're gonna continue to talk about this, but let's talk about some of the flies from Salmon Candy. Again, this is Aqua Wizard.
Aqua Wizard, yeah, and that's gonna be a bluish tint fly, 4-inch, and I mean that could possibly pair perfectly with the Davey's Dream too. I mean, it's got that blues, greens, it matches it perfect. And
I love it because as you're talking about Aqua Lizard, like Nick pointed this out to me earlier. I mean, it's the scale-like flash that you get from this fly is unbelievable. And the cool thing about it is when you're purchasing this fly, you're getting it as a 3-pack.
3-pack.
Yep, and you got options, and so the cool thing about Salmon Candy now. Okay, so we got the colors. Let's talk a little bit about some of the colors. There's blues, there's greens. Almost looks like as it flashes, there's like a copper style look to it.
A little bit of flake in some of them.
I mean, just awesome. The 4-inch again. Now this is we have the attractor with Davey's Dream. And now we have the bait, right? Right. This is what the fish, this is the business end of it all.
Yep, that's what it's gonna eat.
So this is when when a salmon's coming in, this is what's streaming through the water. And is that pretty much what it does as the boat is driving, it streams?
Right, yeah.
And that's where, this is what's mimicking your bait fish.
Bait fish, yeah.
The alewife is what you were saying. So now, as we talk about the Aqua Wizard, and again, so if anybody's interested, this is, you'll see it on your screen right now, SCAW4 at therealshot.com. You're going to take advantage of this. But again, let's talk about, simplify here. We have a big plastic hole on the top of this thing. What's that for?
That's for just switching out flies. I mean, you can use 1 leader and slip on a different fly on the same leader. That's why they make that big opening in there, so you can slip it right over the knot and you're ready to rock.
Now, is that different from other flies that are on the market?
Yeah, some flies you have to tie on and they're there permanently, or cut it off and you have to make a new leader.
So, okay, when a salmon eats this, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this, like, why so interchangeable? Do flies get beat up pretty fast, or on when a fish is eating them or whatever?
Yeah, yep, definitely.
And that can just change a little bit of the action that may or may not produce that bite.
Right, and I mean, some days are really weird. It can have 6, 7 tinsels left and it still catches fish.
Really?
It's crazy. But yeah, if you want your full body, your fly to be full bodied and ready to go, it comes in a 3-pack. Ready to go, just to slip another one on.
Okay, so like what we do here then is if I open it up, you can see there's the plastic runs through, it's still a big hole. And then typically your leader, you were calling it 24 inches.
Yep.
And they have like a bead on there, right? There's a couple beads typically?
Yep, if you're running a treble, you're gonna run about 3 or 4 beads right before the treble hook. That's so the treble hook is right on the base. And then what I do is I do my double singles. So I run a single hook, 3 beads, and then another hook. And that's gonna fit perfectly inside that fly.
Oh, there you go. So that's a tip. Again, like if you're interested in this product and you want some more knowledge, don't be afraid to call the store. I mean, you can call the store and you can talk to Nick directly on all these great products, Davey's Dream, and now we're talking about the Salmon Candy Aqua Wizard. But, you know, components, we talked about the leader component, and these are handmade. Again, Salmon Candy is another one, the same product here. Handmade right here around the Fox Valley. Proven colors. Have you had success on this one? You run this one a little bit, tested the waters a little bit. Yeah. I mean, it just looks
a great fly.
Really, really great. And again, so like we talked about, it's a 3-pack. And now $13.99 is normal retail. You'll see that on your screen right now. But you're going to be able to get these in a 3-pack, a 1-pack of 3 for now $10.99. And we talked about it here. Like you're buying multiples. You're taking advantage of that sale price. This is one. It sounds like because it's the business end, you're going to definitely want to have multiple packs of this.
If you're catching fish and beating up a bunch of fly, you're going to want to have a bunch left to switch out.
Can you apply scent to this? Does that hold scent at times or not really?
Yeah.
I'm asking for a friend.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, anytime you have a material like this or fly material, it's going to hold scent pretty good.
So now, would you recommend though applying scent to something like this, or like how? That's a weird question. Now, how scent cautious are you when you're out Great Lakes fishing? Is that something that's even a thing?
Oh yeah.
Are you serious? Like washing your hands and taking advantage of? You don't want this to smell like Nick Schneider went. You don't want it to smell
like gas, nothing. You want it to smell natural.
Natural. So okay. So we talked about proper storage for these, and I'm sure these are the same way, right? You want these as scent-free as you possibly can, and we have boxes that are available for these. How the heck do you store these then?
So they make fly boxes. You can just, it's like a 2x2 section of a fly box that we are getting those too. We don't have any right now, but you can just, these come already banded up, nice and clean in a package, just like that. And that's exactly how I would store them.
Do you store them back in the original packaging then, or do you store them out of the packaging?
You could do both.
You could do both
as long as it's.
So you
clean.
Gotta keep it streamlined like this.
It's clean. It keeps it a lot better. If you just throw it in a box like that, it's gonna get all.
You run the risk of getting the tinsel's ripped off, and you're running.
Right.
So. Okay, with the aqua lizard is the color, or wizard, I'm sorry, there's a color we're talking about right now. This is, because this is the business end, you could pair it with Davey's Dream, or you could pair it with any other salmon candy flashers out there. Is there a combination that you really are a big fan of if you're running these? Just depends on the day, right?
Depends on the day, where it's at, cloudy, sunny, water temp. There's so many factors that play into a combination.
When you ask a fisherman, that is like a loaded question. When you ask a fisherman, what is your favorite go-to bait, and they're going to give you exactly like Nick said. Well, is it December? Is it October? What's the skies like? What's the water clarity like? But again, it's like one of those things. When you get on that certain body of water, you want to have an arsenal. You want to have an assortment. And why not take advantage of the prices that you see right now to add to that assortment? So, I don't know, you could, earrings maybe? We talked about this thing might be calling in. Like, is this something, Nick, like you look at this and you're like, man, I bet you I can make my wife or my girlfriend something interesting, or even your kids could probably play with this. Again, it's not meant to, but you could distract a kid. Look at me. I've been distracted for the last 20 minutes on these things.
Cats are a lot like salmon too.
We're just proving to everybody that they not only catch salmon and trout, but they catch kids and they catch kitty cats and all that stuff.
Any mindless thing.
Mindless. I love it. I love what you're talking to me about mindless things. So a normal retail price at $13.99, that's a really good price. These are high quality flies. The biggest thing I think Salmon Candy tries to differentiate themselves with is the ability to be quickly interchanged.
Right, yeah.
And there's a lot of great fly companies out there, but the fact that you can change this.
Great concept.
That is a great, and I love that, because the last thing you want to do, Nick, when you're out there and you're in your charter, or you're on your guide trip, or you're just fun fishing, is you want to have downtime.
Right.
You don't want that.
No.
You want to be on the water, and with Nick talking about with the Davey's Dream, running the snap up top and being quick and interchangeable. Then you run into Aqua Wizard, being fast and interchangeable. You get a fly really torn up, and let's say it's 1 or 2 tinsels hypothetically that are missing. You can just change it up and grab a new one out of a pack.
And if you're on a charter and your bite window's a half hour and you're trying to get as many fish in the box as possible, you want to be fast.
You want to be fast.
That's it. you need to be fast and efficient if you want to put more fish in the box.
So again, this is some of the great salmon candy products, again, available at therealshot.com. We're hitting on Aqua Wizard right now. That 4-inch is kind of the standard size.
Yep.
And this is, again, SCAW4 is the product location at the Real Shot website. Normal retail price $13.99 for a 3-pack. Right now, you're going to take advantage of $10.99 for that same 3-pack. And again, if you are a Fix member, you got an additional savings coming at you when you get that little special gift. So check your email if you are a Fix member as you log in. You have to log into the Real Shot website to take advantage of this. But so some cool products, again, from the Real Shot, the salmon candy line. We hit on the Davey's Dream. That's a standard 8-inch flasher. You can take advantage of those savings. We talked to you about that. That was SCDD8 as you're shopping at therealshot.com. And Nick and I just wrapped up here with the Aqua Wizard 4-inch salmon candy product. Again, it's SCAW4 like you see on your screen right now. Normally $13.99. For a 3-pack, you're gonna go ahead and take some savings of $10.99 and get that same 3-pack at therealshot.com and partner it with some of the great combinations that Nick mentioned in here as you're shopping, or find them special tackle boxes to store these bad boys. And while you're over there, shop around at some of the other great salmon candy product. And if anybody has any questions, you highly encourage them to reach out to you, right?
Yep, call me right at the store.
Nick,
ask for Nick.
The Great Lakes specialist.
That's it. If I'm not here, have somebody take a name and number, I'll call you right back.
And if you can't get a hold of them that way, you can always drop a message on our Facebook page, Instagram page, YouTube channel, all that kind of great stuff. We'll make sure that Nick gets these messages and gets a hold of you right now. But I mean, again, everybody, salmon candy, great product. You can find it on therealshot.com. Nick, thanks so much for joining me. Hey, don't go away. We still have a lot of great products coming forth your way. But again, salmon candy, find it on therealshot.com. Call Nick at the store. Hey man, thanks so much for joining me.
No problem.
We're good. Don't go anywhere, everybody. We got a ton more products coming at you.
Not so bad.
We're good. Good job.
There we go.
Hey, it's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's put her 4 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are gonna join me, and the reason I asked these 2 guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.
I'm Gary Atkins, professional angler in the National Professional Fishing League. I've been fishing professionally for 4 years. I spent 3 years as a pro in the Northern Opens, and now I've been fishing 1 year in the National Professional Fishing League. Tune in to TRS Live for the best deals on all your outdoor gear and apparel. If you're going to want a shot at the big bass, you're going to need the Real Shot.
There's the boom right there, Gary Atkins, your smallmouth specialist.
Take it from me, professional angler Gary Atkins.
For joining me in here today, talking about all those Great Lakes products, the salmon candy Great Lakes products. Again, everybody, I highly encourage you, if you are taking the time to watch this, get the answers that you need and you want to know. Reach out to The Real Shot, Facebook, call the stores. Phone number is 920-750-6140, and ask for Nick, or ask for any of the employees that you're going to see on the show going forth here for TRS Live. So products, again, you're going to be able to shop for them at therealshot.com. Fix member. So let's just break that down real quick. What is a Fix member? So Fix TV is a app platform, will be an app platform where you can watch not only head-to-head fishing, you can watch shows like The Guided Life, The Jake Jacobs Show, and a ton of more shows that are coming forth on Fix platform. So it's a video on demand style platform. There is a subscription for it, but you get a ton of benefits. It's not just head-to-head. There's a lot of great shows. The Guided Life's on there, so you're gonna wanna watch that one. But again, if you are a Fix member, you will have additional savings. So a Fix TV member, you can find all that information on fixtv.com. Find out more, follow along on all their social media pages as well. So as we move into some more great savings here on TRS Live, we have a really cool product. Now this product coming forth is the Cold Snap Toothpick. And what that means is I'm not talking about something you're gonna clean the meat out of your teeth with after you have a delicious steak. Maybe you had one over the past weekend. I'm talking about the Cold Snap Fish Hook Removal. And if you look at this thing, you're like, Matt, how does this thing remove a hook? And I'm gonna tell you how to remove a hook. I have this and I absolutely love it. I have it with the lanyard right here. And I absolutely love this thing. There's a lot of benefits that this Cold Snap Toothpick Hook Remover adds to you. And we're gonna get into that stuff. But here, first of all, here's a little bit of history. First, Cold Snap products made in the US of A. So if you are a proud supporter of the great country that we live in, take advantage of a great made in USA product from Cold Snap. Now, Cold Snap started in 2002. There was some gentleman, it was Doug Hung, I believe his name was driving home. They were driving over to South Dakota and they came up with the Cold Snap ice fishing cover. So you know that these guys are outdoorsmen. They're constantly thinking about the needs and wants of fishermen and outdoorsmen in the industry. So they came out with that product, that ice fishing cover in 2002, and there it's just kind of blossomed into the great Cold Snap products. So you know, again, they are concentrating on needs and wants of fishermen and other outdoorsmen in the industry. Now, the way this works is this is the extra long model right here with the lanyard. And I love the lanyard because if you're like me, when you hook into a fish of a lifetime, or maybe it's a pesky little fish that you want to get off really quick, I drop my stuff in the bottom of the boat. I got to scramble to find it. The lanyard helps keep this at the ready. And a lot of times for me when I'm ice fishing or even with my awesome Fix shirt on, I'll have it pinned here. I'll have it pinned to my bibs. I've also pinned it to like my tackle box when I am wading in the river and the streams and stuff like that for fish. But let's get into how this actually works and how this actually saves you a lot of time. If you look, here's how we get the name of the toothpick. It is forked at the end of it. And what that does is that fits in there properly and perfectly to catch the hook shank, the hook eyelet, whatever it may be that you need to grab onto or to remove the hook. Now the other thing that's really cool about it is with that longer shank portion to it, when those fish, sometimes if you're using a live bait or if they really want the artificial presentation that you're throwing, they'll get it down a little further. Well, with this is a lot less invasive than going in there with the pliers, going in there with the forceps. You're gonna minimize the risk and the damage that you can do to your targeted species and either get it in the live well for pictures or something in a safe, better way, or like if you're a head-to-head angler, hook removal, get it back in the water so you can get fishing. So I like this because it allows me to, it's a lot less invasive to the throat of the fish or to the, the gill plate of the fish. You get in there, you grab it, and you can pop it, you can twist it, and it just allows for a lot less invasive hook removal. Now, we're talking about saving you money, right? So Cold Snap, again, created in 2002, and if you're on the Real Shot website, which I know you are in order to take advantage of these deals, the product ID number that you're looking for is CSTPXL. That's CSTPXL. So you're gonna find that on the Real Shot website. Just punch that in the search box and it will take you right to this product. And this is one that, again, so often the deals that we're bringing you today and forever with TRS Live. We're here to save you money. We're here to keep you out in the woods, in the water for a lot longer. So this is, again, one, why not pick up a couple of them for you? Get a couple for the kids, get a couple for your friends, your family. Heck, buy your worst enemy one of these, because you know that conservation is what we all go for. So get a couple of these extra toothpicks, plus have one in this tackle box, have one in this boat, have one over here, have one over there. Raise your hands in the air. You know the rest of the song. But either way, so the toothpick is one of those products you're going to want to take advantage of, CSTPXL. And that normal retail price, $6.49. Today your savings is $1 off. You're going to get it for $5.49. Again, Fix members have some added benefits. But because we are here to save you money, I want to save you some more money, because this is going to help eliminate chipping your hooks, or chipping the paint or damaging your hooks. With this plastic body here, and again, being a lot less invasive, you're going to be able to go in, remove the hook efficiently, no pun intended, but then you're also going to help eliminate the chipping. I mean, think about some of the price of these tungsten baits out there, especially if you're an ice fisherman, and now more tungsten's working into the open water market. You know, you don't want to chip the paint off these expensive lures unless you're watching TRS Live. Then you're going to save some money when we get to some of that stuff. But, you know, you're going to want to save some money on that kind of stuff, and you're going to want to save the fish's life. So again, take advantage of this deal. It's CSTPXL. That's the cold snap hook remover, and the extra long. And there's a bunch of different sizes and colors for this. I like the extra long because, again, I can catch panfish, I can catch game fish, walleye, bass. Heck, maybe Nick's got a couple of these when he's out in the Great Lakes. You know, that's a big fish for a big bait. But, you know, these are strong. They're very, very sturdy and durable. You know, they have some great ambidextrous with them. The other thing, too, is, you know, the way they have their printed logo area here, this is where you want to pinch it. This is where the method comes in to drop the hook down. So if this is a fish's mouth, you slide it in, whether it's around the lip or if it's down in the gullet. And the other thing too is because it's so narrow, I mean, it's not any bigger than a pencil. So if you had those fish that are hooked a little bit deeper near the belly area, going up through the gill plate with this compared to a pliers, or even reaching your fingers in. How many times have you wanted to get the hook out safely? Maybe it's your prize bait, or you just care about the conservation end of it, and you try to weasel your fingers through the gills. I know you've tried it. I know you've done it, and there's no intentions to like hurt anything. You just want to get the hook out instead of cutting the line or whatever it may be. But you try to go up through the gill plate. Well, this thing is a lot smaller than your fingers, depending on your hand size, and you might be able to get through there. The other thing too is just going down standardly to get the hook removal out. This thing is so awesome. The color, I like the color, the bright yellow color. Drop it in the snow on an ice fishing day. It's gonna be easily seen. The lanyard's gonna help eliminate you dropping this. So while you're on the Real Shot website, type in CSTPXL, add a couple of these to your cart. Fix members get some additional savings. But I mean, there's so many benefits to this. And you know, the other thing that the guys over at Dan and the other crew over at Cold Snap do is they put a lot of intensive research into their products. So they know what works, what doesn't work by trial and tribulation. Well, they know when they tested the producer liked the tribulation. That was when they're testing the Cold Snap toothpick here, they know that they put this thing through the ringer, and they built it in a way that it's gonna last for you. Again, with the way everything's working right now, when you spend that hard-earned money for you and take advantage of some savings that you're getting on TRS Live, you want to buy a product that I don't have to replace tomorrow. Buy once, cry once, right? That's a really easy term to keep in mind, you know, a phrase, whatever you got to call it. But when at $5.49, original price $6.49 for the toothpick here, this is one of these products, as long as you don't lose it, you're going to have it. That's as plain and simple as it is. I mean, there's so many areas where you can store this thing, and just it's right there. And they actually make holders for it, or if you could put it in a plier holder, you can pin it to the side of the boat. I mean, look at the length in that lanyard. Look at that. I don't know if you can see that. It's invisible to you, but I know how long it is. I mean, that's I don't know. I heard somebody tell me inches don't matter sometimes, but that's about 24 inches right now. That's a keeper walleye. So if you actually know how long that is, now you can put this lanyard up along one of your favorite fish and know, yeah, that's a keeper for sure. Nope, he's too big outside the slot limit. But again, the Cold Snap toothpick, it's a great product. Take advantage of while you're at the Real Shot website. Again, if you're looking for it, it's really simple, everybody. It's CS Cold Snap TP Toothpick XL, because this is an XL variety here. And the cool thing is it comes with the lanyard. I like that. Storage wise, just holding it there. And the other thing is that lanyard acts for a little more stability. It actually helps you. Maybe you gotta, the fish flops and you gotta re-grab it and you gotta let go in a hurry to have the hands-free application. With that lanyard that's on there, that's just gonna be one less thing you have to worry about. Well, so often when we're out fishing or we're hunting, right, we have, time is maybe not always our friend. We have maybe an hour. We have a limited half an hour day. Like Nick said, if you're on a charter trip and it's a 4-hour trip, being efficient, keeping your anglers, your paying members on the water is something that's super critical. So why have to worry about it? Do I have to find this? Do I have to go search for it? I know right where it is. It's on your lanyard. It's pinned to my side. It's on the side of my boat. I got it snapped to my tackle box, which is always right near me. Maybe I have 2 or 3 of them because I shopped at TRS Live and saved myself $1. So this is a great product. I highly recommend it. And while you're trying these, say you bought this product today, which I know you did, leave us a review. Tell us about it. Send us a message. Send us some success pictures. We'll get your picture. We'll share it out there in social media land so everybody else can see that, hey man, I love my Cold Snap. Hey, it actually worked for me really good. Here's a 24-inch brown trout right here. And it helped me remove that hook fast, got that fish back in the water, and I've got, or here's another testimonial. I got 500 fish that have been released safely and effectively with my Cold Snap toothpick. So, I mean, it's one of those great things. Share pictures with us on social media. Now, the question that I just got is, if you hook yourself, there's other tricks out there. You might be able to remove a hook out of your hand. I don't know that portion. If you have testimonials on does the toothpick remove a hook from your hand or any other area, that one you're going to have to share with us. I don't know how to answer that one, but be really careful. If you have the toothpick, that's one less thing that could get you a hook in the hand by being safe. The distance here too. Let's not even think about that. Check out that distance from where this little circle portion is here to control it. I still have a lot of room in there to keep myself and my hands away from that hook portion of it. So this is a great product. Again, at therealshot.com. Check it on out. Fixed members are going to get some additional savings. Right now, you can take advantage of this saving. It's $1 off. Retail normally is $6.49. You are able to take advantage of that $1 off for $5.49. And with Father's Day is coming up really quick. There's birthdays. It's summertime. You're looking for that little gift. Grandmas and grandpas. Oh my God, grandmas and grandpas. Like, how many times if you're like, I just want to get my grandchildren something, get them a toothpick. Why not? This is the perfect thing. There's so many kids that are getting into fishing right now. This is the perfect thing to put in the bottom of that tackle box. And then you get the chance. This is a teaching moment. Hey, come on over here and let's talk about how we can effectively and efficiently remove a hook from a bluegill or a bass or whatever it may be, a Great Lakes salmon caught on some of that salmon candy stuff. This is a great product. You drop it in at the bottom of the tackle box. They know what the heck it is. They're going to love it. They're going to watch TRS Live and appreciate that you save some money so you can go buy them some other cool stuff. But again, Cold Snap toothpick. This is the XL with the lanyard CS. That's Cold Snap CS TP XL on the Real Shot website. go ahead, take advantage of the savings that we're giving you today. And I got more products for you, and I got more and more better things that we're going to be talking about today on TRS Live. And if you like TRS Live, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Like us on our social media pages. If you like what the Real Shot has to offer, follow them on their social media pages. That's where you're going to stay and keep up with all the coming deals that are coming forth in TRS Live, and drop us some of your great testimonials. So we got more products coming at you again on therealshot.com. Don't go anywhere. We're going to bring you some more awesome stuff. It's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's put her 4 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are gonna join me, and the reason I asked these two guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.
I'm Gary Atkins, professional angler in the National Professional Fishing League. I've been fishing professionally for 4 years. I spent 3 years as a pro in the Northern Opens, and now I've been fishing 1 year in the National Professional Fishing League. Tune in to TRS Live for the best deals on all your outdoor gear and apparel. If you're going to want a shot at the big bass, you're going to need the Real Shot.
There's the boom right there, Gary Atkins, your smallmouth specialist.
Take it from me, professional angler Gary Atkins.
Welcome back to TRS Live. Hey, I appreciate everybody joining us today well, you should appreciate the fact that I'm saving you some money, but I appreciate you watching. Again, if you're on our socials, head over to therealshot.com. That's where you're gonna be able to find all these new products. And today, we're gonna call it a hot spot here. This is a TRS Real Deal. This is a real quick segment on a really handy product that you're going to want to take advantage of. And before we get into it here, find it at CAPLWA on your screen or at therealshot.com. That's where you're going to take advantage of the savings. Normally $5.99, $4.79 is the price today. And what is it, you're asking? Well, let's get wacky. It's an old wacky tool. And first of all, I got to tell you, this thing is awesome, but what the heck is it is probably the first thing you're asking me. Well, the technique that catches a ton of fish and it catches any kind of fish is wacky rigging a worm. And what that is that's a stick bait. It's either a 4, a 6, a 7, or who knows how big it is. Maybe some of these bigger lunker style ones that are out there. I like my stick baits in the oak. I'm a big oak guy. But this is an old wacky tool. This helps you when you're wacky rigging a bait. Typically, you're going to be using wacky rigs for bass, but it doesn't mean you can't catch anything on them. I've caught walleyes on them. I've caught northerns. I've even caught bluegills, perch, so on and so forth. But here's how you do it. If this pen right here, I should have had a wacky worm up here, a stick worm up here. You slide it on in, and you get it to about the halfway point. Now, typically what happens on some of these stick worms, they have a collar portion on them. And if you will run your hook, if this simulates the wacky rig, if you run your hook through, you're gonna have a portion of that going through the middle of the bait. Well, some of these soft plastics that are on the market right now, one or two fish or one or two hard aggressive casts, you might rip that bait right off when you're wacky styling it. So again, you're going usually about halfway, maybe a little less than halfway through the collard area. You're lightly piercing a wacky style hook through the middle of the body. And when that worm, it almost like it creates wings. It kind of swims through the water, and then when it shimmies, when you stop fishing it, it kind of shimmies. It slowly drifts its weight back down. Typically, you're going to fish it weightless, but you can fish it with a wacky style jig head. But you know, when a fish eats that bait, some of these soft plastics that are out there, you're gonna go through a lot of plastics. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this. Now you're gonna slide your plastic in halfway, and then you're gonna slide over one of these O-rings, and it comes with 10 degree, or I'm sorry, size 10 O-rings. This will run up and over. And then what you do then is when you hook through it, you'll run your hook lightly through the plastic, but then this O-ring here is going to hold on to that bait. It's going to last that bait a lot longer, and you're going to be able to catch more fish on these wacky tool here. So this is, again, the old wacky tool. This is normally $5.99. You're going to take advantage of it for $4.79. And again, fixed members get a bunch of different savings to this. The other style that's really popular for catching bass and other fish too is Nico style. And Nico style is when you run the hook, you know, the lengthwise of it. And typically what you're going to do is you're going to start on the head side of the bait, or on the plastic, and you're going to run it through so your hook is almost weedless, but your hook turns up near the tail end of it. Well, with these O-rings here, like you're going to see on this wacky tool, you're going to be able to take advantage of those savings, or those fish catching abilities too. So again, real simply, this is one of those fantastic products. A lot of these products we're talking about today are something that fits perfectly in the bottom of a tackle box, fits in a cup holder, something like that. And now this other thing too is this is aluminum. Aluminum is going to be a lot more resistant to rust. It's not going to rust. So a lot of times, if you're like me, things sit at the bottom of your boat, they get rained on, they get everything. This is not going to rust. This is like an aluminum. It's blue, so it's easy to find, easy to access. Anodized is going to prevent it from rusting, and it has a handy screw on the back end of it. So if I need to put more wacky bands on there, more O-rings on there, I can do that. If I want to have another one set up where I can easily change it for a different band. Now these come with the black. There's a lot of different colors out there. There's clear, there's red. There's a lot of different awesome products that this company offers. And this is a case plastics. It's just simply, it's called a wacky tool when you're shopping on the Real Shot website. I'll make it a lot easier for you. It's CAPLWA, and normally $5.99. You're going to take advantage of that for $4.79. And again, this is one of those things with the savings that we're offering here on TRS Live. You're going to want to add a couple of these to the arsenal. You're going to want to have a number of these. And at that price and at these savings, you can add a bunch of these to you. Again, gifts, Father's Day. I actually bought this same thing for my dad. My dad wanted to go out there and catch a bunch of fish. I bought him a wacky rig setup with this bad boy, showed him how to use it, bought him a bunch of hooks at the Real Shot. Now he's out there, he told me right away, he's like, Matt, I never fished this method. And I'm first of all like, why haven't you? And he's like, dude, I caught a nice bass, like a 3-pounder on my very first outing with the wacky rig. I'm like, yeah, Dad, it simply catches fish. The wacky rig is one of the most, on a tough day, tournament anglers, novice anglers, anybody will tell you, on a very tough day, the first thing they do, or the one thing they have rigged up, is always have a wacky rig rigged up. And this thing right here is going to help you be more efficient, keep you on the water a lot longer, and allow you to catch a lot more fish. So again, everybody, just a real quick one here, just before we move on to some more great products here at CAPLWA. This is a case plastics wacky tool, aluminum body, comes standard with 10, number 10. So it's 10 individual number 10, size 10 O-rings, where if you're wondering, those O-rings are the 3/8 size. This is the perfect tool. Take advantage of the savings. Give one to Dad, give one to the kid. You know, when you're buying that toothpick, add this wacky tool to it, put it in the tackle box. They have it, and once they start wacky rigging, man, they're going to start catching a bunch more fish. But this thing is really easy to use. Slide your stick bait in there, slide your plastic in there, run the O-ring up and over the body of it, slide it up onto the bait at that right location. The nice thing is you're gonna save these bands a lot easier. They're a lot easier to find, a lot less messing around. You can always replace, add more to the backside of it just by removing the screw, slide on more O-rings. You're gonna be ready to go. If you wanna have more of the 10 on there, you can do that kind of stuff too. It's really, really nice, super convenient, super handy. There's other options to it for, you know, storage and having it more easily accessed and just having it in a cup holder or whatever like that. But this is a great, great product, the Case Plastics Wacky Tool. Normally $5.99, you're gonna take advantage. It's gonna be $4.79 right now, and it's CAPLWA for this wacky tool right here. Take advantage of it. Watch it TRS live. We got more stuff coming at you. Again, this is just a real quick one. Find it again, CAPLWA. The wacky tool, this thing is phenomenal, but we're gonna have another special guest coming forth here, and we're gonna get into some clothing. So that's some cool, cool stuff. Don't go anywhere. A tidbit, striker, cold water, flotation might save your life. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more TRS Live. Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's put her 4 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are gonna join me, and the reason I asked these two guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, you know, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one.
I'm Gary Atkins, professional angler in the National Professional Fishing League. I've been fishing professionally for 4 years. I spent 3 years as a pro in the Northern Opens, and now I've been fishing 1 year in the National Professional Fishing League. Tune in to TRS Live for the best deals on all your outdoor gear and apparel. If you're gonna want a shot at the big bass, you're gonna need the real shot.
There's the boom right there, Gary Atkins, your smallmouth specialist.
Take it from me, professional angler Gary Atkins.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TRS Live. Now, you're probably looking at me a little crazy because we got some winter apparel next to us, but when this guy right here, Tyson Hansen, what's up, buddy?
Not a whole lot,
Thanks
man.
for joining me here on TRS Live. He's gonna tell us all about the Striker Ice Predator coat. Now, this thing has got some sweet, sweet camouflage on it.
Absolutely, that's that Striker Veil camo. That stuff is phenomenal. Blends you in if you're sight fishing, keeps you kind of camouflaged with your ice shack, and it looks amazing.
Yeah, there's that veil camouflage. Like, that's one thing too. Like when I was researching all this, I'm like, why would I want camouflage on it? But the thing about it is when you purchase a Predator coat like this thing is built for all kinds of weather, right? You can layer underneath it. It's one of those, so often here, man, we get to, what one thing can I buy that's gonna last me all season long?
Absolutely.
Right? From
all the time.
Early spring to fall to winter, and these are this coat right here is that item.
Absolutely. The layering aspects of that is phenomenal. They actually make these just slightly, like a half size bigger. So you can add options underneath, whether that's going to be like an under layer or a skin tight layer for when it's, you know, those really fair weather days, all the way to those heavy, bulky, kind of puff style layers to go underneath that as well if it's, you know, in the negatives.
Yep. So the little backstory here, Predator, Striker, I remember when the first representative came to the Real Shot and was talking about, oh my God, we got this cool, innovative ice coat. It's awesome. And what you got to remember is Striker started in 2005, right? They were born into the snowmobile industry.
Absolutely.
Well, if you snowmobile, you know how critical it is to not only be warm, but you don't want that puffy feel.
And you don't want to sweat either.
And you don't want to sweat.
That's the biggest thing.
It is.
Absolutely.
So what they did is they took in the concept from the snowmobiling world, and then in 2010, if my notes are correct here, they first launched their ice coat.
That sounds spot on for me.
But what the thing was is in 2010, they felt again like it was missing one important aspect, and that's the ability to float.
Correct.
And so in 20
The safety aspect is
yes, the safety aspect. So let's just dwell on that for a moment here with this Striker Ice Predator coat. The ability to float. Can you talk about that?
So as far as the safety aspect goes, that is the number one. If you go underneath the ice, the probability of you getting back up is very slim. So if you fall through and you're not wearing some sort of flotation suit and your head goes underneath the water, if you're in any sort of current, or when you go through, you disorientate yourself quite a bit, and you can easily lose track of where you went through. And we all know as ice fishermen, if you go a foot away from where you fell through, it might be thicker right there, and you're not going to be able to get back through.
Yep.
So the ability to float not only will keep your head above the water for a longer period of time that you might be able to get help, but it keeps you from going through the ice completely and disappearing for good. So that's absolutely huge. It minimized the fatalities of people when they go all the way underneath the ice, and we're basically able to help you keep your head above water longer.
Now, again, I remember that day when that representative came into the Real Shot, and we're like, BS. Like, I don't really believe it. But then they start showing you video footage. They start hearing more and more testimonials as the Striker stuff got out there. And customers and people that have unfortunately had to test the flotation part of it said it is just like a bobber. Like, the one guy said he fell through, I think it was in Oshkosh, and it was a 7-foot area, and he didn't even hit bottom.
Yep.
He literally went under, and he did go under like a couple feet, but he said he popped right back up, and it was awesome.
Yep, and that's where when you buy just the jacket, you get that flotation. When you pair this up with a whole suit, that's where you're not even going to go underneath the surface of the water. It's that much flotation in there. So the jacket by itself will absolutely save your life and maintain your flotation up to the surface, so other people can get you out of the ice.
Yep, and with this coat being at the perfect layering, to perfect all season style coat is wearing it walleye fishing in the spring, out on the bay in October for smallies,
Absolutely.
in November for smallies. When you're wear this thing all the time, because that flotation aspect of it is just an extra peace of mind. Like, I know that
very much so.
When I was talking to my wife about, I'm going ice fishing today, and there was one thing I never really doubted was the ability that I had to be float. I could float if I were to unfortunately go in. So often we go out on our own, or you slip on the bank or something like this. This is going to help you, but it's also going to keep you warm. You want to talk about some of the warmth that they added to the Striker
Absolutely.
Predator?
I'm going to touch on one other key thing. This spring, we actually had a customer of ours go into the water over the side of his boat, just was up on the front deck, had a weird wave, kind of catch the side of the boat, tossed him right out. Wasn't wearing his life jacket because you're on the front deck fishing and stuff, and most guys take their life jacket off and leave it at the seat. He was wearing a full Predator suit. Kept him up so the guys in the boat could get him out of the water and get him back in the boat, got him to shore, got him dried off, and he ended up, I think, going back out. But without that piece of equipment in 3-footers on the bay and stuff like that we're used to seeing around here, he said that suit probably saved his life. He said he wasn't a very strong swimmer, but he was able to keep him up and get him back in the boat. So that flotation is huge.
Yeah, and you said that he went potentially back out, and that's because this stuff is not only warm, but it's like water resistant to a certain point.
Absolutely. If you get out of the water fairly quickly, you'll notice that most of your body will stay dry, just simply because of the waterproofing aspects of it too. But to go back to the warmth on this thing, I believe that 1,000, what is that called? The
Thermodex.
Thermodex. It's a
I got my neat
right?
sheet here, yeah.
It's one that I'm not totally familiar with as far as like the Primaloft rating and stuff like that. Some of the other technology or other suits have into it. But when you put this thing on, it is phenomenally warm. Noticeably warm when you're even just standing there.
Yep.
It regulates your body temperature and basically insulates everything that you have underneath it.
Yeah, well, and again, like if you're going back to, like if you had to rate it on a 1 to 10 scale, I remember when Stryker came out with their first catalog, this was like a 9 out of a 10.
Absolutely.
And it's not the most warmest piece they make. They make, what is it, the Climate?
They make the Climate, now they're Apex as well. So
Yeah.
there's 2 series above this that are technically rated as warmer, but that 100 grams of insulation in there is very sufficient enough to keep you warm in any Wisconsin day.
And I can attest to that because when I was going, I like to run and gun. I like to move. Like if I'm sitting in one location, let's say ice fishing, I'm probably in my shack.
Absolutely.
If I'm that dialed in, I'm in my shack. Well, I don't get that dialed in very often, so I'm on the move a lot. And the hole hopping, and with the new technologies that are out there and sonars and everything like this, this suit is built for the hole hopping angler.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of features, and we can talk about features, but let's continue on with the warmth portion of it. The venting and everything like that just helps this suit, helps you, the hole hopper, be a lot more successful.
Absolutely. So you mentioned the ventilation. Their cross vent system is phenomenal. Basically, this thing breathes, and when you're sitting there and actually fishing, it maintains your warmth. Everybody talks about, I don't want it to vent too much. I don't want a draft coming into my jacket or anything like that. When you're sitting in one spot, hole hop, or you're dialed into a hole or something like that, or you're fishing out a hole, say for crappies, and before you move to the next spot, when those fish kind of move on to the different section of the basin or whatnot, this suit will maintain your temperature while you're sitting. When you're moving and starting to get active and stuff like that, that material kind of moves and allows that moisture and stuff from your body to kind of move throughout the suit away from your core, and that's what keeps you dry and also warm as well. Because everybody knows when you get wet or sweat,
Yep.
That's when you get cold.
Yep, 100% true. Now, can we ask you, is there any way you can try this coat on? It won't fit me. It'd be like fat guy, little coat situation, Tommy boy. Is there a way we could just, because I want you to kind of show, it's one thing to have it here and show the cross ventilation.
Absolutely.
Is there any way you can model for us?
For sure.
Yeah, I'll get hold your clipboard for you.
I was going to say, I can step off something like that, but if you want to do that.
Yeah, just throw it on, man. Look good.
This'll work.
Bow, 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 bow. Fancy music. But, there's one way, because the one thing I want to hit on is, what size do you normally wear?
I wear a medium.
Okay,
I wear a medium in everything that I've put on. So,
and it's convenient that we have a medium because, the one thing you mentioned that I thought was interesting is they built a medium to be, or their sizes to be slightly bigger than normally, and that's to allow you to layer underneath it. And that's a magnetic, dude. That magnet really got you right there.
Absolutely. Kind of messed me up a little bit.
All right. Well, first of all, you're looking good. Oh, I got it. You're
There we
looking
go.
good. Looking good. Look at this. Now, styling and profiling here. Okay, zip it on up. So first of all, talk about we got the tapered zippers or the tape zippers, right?
Yeah, so the zippers that they used on these things are phenomenal. They are YKK zippers, which are top of the line zippers, and you'll notice when I do this, that magnet seals that zipper. So most of the time, zippers are very breathable, actually, the material that they use for them, unless they're actually a taped zipper. So the problem with taped zippers is they're also very difficult to zip up most of the time.
Yep.
So they want you to be able to get this thing on. If you are in a shack, you are going to be taking this on, putting it off when you move around a lot. So they factored that into the build of this jacket to make the zipper as easy as possible. But that magnetic
tough word.
Yeah, right. That magnetic strip in there basically allows that thing to seal over the top of the zipper.
You can hear it snap.
Yeah,
too,
it's pretty powerful in there. So it seals all that wind from getting inside the jacket. And again, just completely seals itself. So the other thing.
Yep. Can we get into the cross venting here?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, I can show you if we zip it down. Look at that. That's a huge
I can
portion
turn
of it
that
right underneath the armpit. So it would flow in here. It's mesh line, so it's easily taped in the inside and outside. And they have one on both sides.
Yep.
So that's what you're talking about, this cross venting. Lets the wind go through, dry out the core, right? We want to keep the core warm, but we also
Absolutely.
want to keep it dry.
Yeah, correct. So, and then like Matt was saying, I do have quite a bit of space in this. Like I said, they're built about a half size big, so you can layer underneath these things. And if you need more warmth, they do make base layers to go along with these. Stryker does have everything apparel-wise to partner up with this suit. But now one thing I do want to say is you do not notice the flotation when you put this on. Now everything is built into the arms, into the back. There's some into the chest as well, where this thing feels like any other jacket you'd put on. You don't even notice that flotation is built into it.
And with that veil strike camouflage, that's actually style enough to wear out on the town.
Oh, absolutely.
It looks good. Give us a little spin here.
Right? Right?
Look at all. Right down the back. Now, a lot of the logos and stuff and along the shoulders, too, that's a high vis.
Absolutely.
That's reflective.
It is reflective. So, again, if you guys are coming off the ice late, this camouflage might be a little difficult to see. However, there are those reflective points on this jacket to make you visible. So, if you got a little bit of snow or something like that and you're coming off, snowmobilers or guys in their trucks will be able to pick you out pretty easily and not put you into a dangerous situation as you're coming off.
So right now, again, if you're joining us, this is TRS Live. Where Tyson's modeling, and again, Tyson works on the sales floor of the Real Shot. He's a buyer of apparel. He's a man of many, many talents. But Stryker Ice Predator jacket, and this is in the veil strike pattern. So let's get into the hood features. I mean, we talked about less bulk, right? Staying warm, layering, and everything like this.
Absolutely.
They have a great hood system as well.
Yep. So very, very quick and easy. The pull tabs are right there. Both sides tighten down, and basically, if you're on a snowmobile or something like that, or you're hole hopping, you want to be dialed in. You got windy conditions.
Yep.
You know, you can zip this thing all the way up to the top.
Yeah, you got to tuck that little guy.
Oh yeah.
So much
right
features to this thing.
Right. So you get that going. You tighten this thing down as much as you possibly can. You got no wind to come.
Yeah.
Man, I'm getting warm already just wearing this thing.
I try to turn the air up so you wouldn't start sweating too bad. Well, dude, just open up the cross ventilation system.
Right,
and
no
now you're
kidding.
probably at 30 degrees cooler on the
Right,
inside.
absolutely.
Hey, the other thing too, if we ever get kicked out of the house, man, we could live out in this thing for about a day or so.
Oh yeah, yeah. Man, this would make a fantastic bow hunting suit as well.
It really would. Late season bow seat, yeah.
Absolutely.
The only thing is it's a little loud with all that water resistant material.
Correct. So I don't know if we talked about the shell about this thing at
that's
all.
weird that we just
Right, absolutely. It's got a 300 denier polyester shell on there, and that's what all of the veil that you see on here is. The rest of this, all the gray stuff, is a 320 denier
Tussar
nylon. So any point where this jacket needs to be movable and flex, like so in your arms, your armpits and stuff like that, that's where the nylon's going to come into play. It's a little bit more flexible than the polyester material, and that's where all these gray patches are.
Now, what about the pockets? There's a ton of pockets. There's pockets outside. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 that are exposed.
Yep, we got top load, Velcro pockets for there. We've got side fleece line pockets.
Fleece line,
Yep,
yes.
absolutely. That's one of the huge features on jackets is keeping your hands warm.
Yes.
That is huge out there.
Especially if you're like me, I hate wearing gloves, or if
Same.
I do wear a glove, I like them to be very, very minimalistic. That right there, just 30 seconds in that pocket,
Yep.
even with a hand warmer, without a hand warmer,
Correct.
will keep you out fishing a lot longer.
Absolutely, absolutely. Super easy, and the fleece line the outside of them, but not the inside. So a lot of times when you're tying stuff, the palm of your hands will get a little wet.
Yep.
So it doesn't feel like they're going to stick inside of there at all, which is huge. And then they have I don't know if we talked about the cross ones on the top here either, but these are taped waterproof.
Yep.
Pockets on the top, so if you're driving a snowmobile, great phone pocket there. It's going to stay dry. And the fact that they did the cross on these, they're diagonal, it's very easy to get your hands inside of them. Super
It's
convenient.
smart, dude. Again, like you talked about with the hood before, I mean, everything they thought about with Stryker is derived from the snowmobile world, the fishing world, right? It's proven to be effective in a lot of different ways, and just simply like this. And you know, you got a clip right here. What would look really good on that clip, man? The toothpick. We literally just got done talking about the cold snap toothpick. Like on my Predator bibs, I have that same clip on the inside. and that's where I have my toothpick clipped right there. It's
Absolutely.
easy to access. Now, what's on the other side of this thing? Wasn't there? Where did I just see there was a line cutter someplace? Isn't there?
That was originally.
Oh, it's right here. There it is.
There it is. Yep. So I think there's a couple different models. Some came with, some came without the what is it called? The line cutters. So there might be a couple different models of these. Some come with that, some don't. Unfortunately, I think it was an after effect of
Well, you better
COVID
order,
and
when
stuff
you
like
order
that.
it again. It's STRPRJ. Maybe try to find one with the line cutters on it.
Absolutely, right? Check the sizes or something like that. But I think that was a downside of COVID. I think it was the availability of them.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, some don't, some do. But I was going to point this one out right here. This piece right here, one of the best lines or tethers for snowmobile, ATV, stuff like that. So if you guys don't have to find someplace to clip it on, they got it right on your chest.
Right
So
here.
if you're driving a four-wheeler or a snowmobile out onto the ice,
Yep.
it's right there. You don't have to try and find a spot to clip
Easy
on.
access.
Yep.
Again, just they thought of everything for you. Now, when we were talking earlier about staying warm, staying dry, or if you unfortunately do fall in, the fact that there's a lot, like to talk about the sleeves here, the tapered sleeves and the Velcro sleeves
Yep.
to help seal the moisture out, but keep the warm in.
Correct, absolutely. So I'm going to try and roll this back just a touch. On my cuff right here, this is part of the jacket. This is not a long sleeve that I'm wearing underneath. That is built into the jacket. It is, I believe it's a mild neoprene, I think, that is in the cuff, are very, very close to that same material. It's like it's an elastec
stretchy
kind of
material.
feel. Yep. Basically just seals in all your body heat. But again, if you're running on a snowmobile or it's windy outside, you're not going to get that draft that comes in your arms there.
Yep.
Also, if you're trying to dig that fish out of a hole, you're not going to get that splash up into your insulation and stuff like that inside of there. So it's going to keep that all the moisture and water splashing out. And then just having the Velcro on the outside, you can tighten these things down. Gloves will slide over the top of this whole thing again. If you're mobile or you're out running and gunning, you're moving spot to spot, and you want to tighten these things down just to have your gloves seal over the top. Gone are the days of having to try and work the outside over the glove
top.
and seal that down because of that inside cuff right there. Keeps all that moisture out and the heat in.
So when they came up with the Predator suit, right, they had the mobile angler, the mobile person in mind. And actually the Striker name, here's a fin fact, I'm going to let one know. Do you know it was made to emulate a snake strike? That was a marketing term they had going on. So that's where the Striker's name came from. I mean, and that's where the Predator suit really derived from, because when you're the mobile angler, you got to be able to strike fast.
Absolutely.
And so many of the things we've talked about today are literally keeping you out on the hard water, on the open water, in the woods, whatever it may be, keeping you out there a lot longer. And this Predator suit from Striker, man, is one that's going to keep you out in the... Are you sweating yet?
I am. Got to focus not on that.
He's going to have to go get some scent control from the Reel Shop. But, I mean, it's a great, great piece, dude. It looks good. You got to vent. He's venting.
Right?
He's using that cross venting right now.
Absolutely.
Like,
you can feel it.
I was going to say,
absolutely
can
feel
you
it.
absolutely feel it?
Yep, you start moving around, I can actually feel it kind of releasing some of the air inside, which is, it's nice.
It's nice. Well, so we won't make it a whole lot longer, but I want to go back to one more thing about the sizing. So you said you're typically wear a medium.
Yep.
You have a little bit of room.
I do have a little bit of breathable space inside there. You could easily wear some sort of a hoodie under there or a heavy puff style insulating layer underneath this and not feel very constricted at all. And that's absolutely huge. Again, if you fish super cold temperatures, the ability to layer this thing is amazing.
Yep. And now, so okay, if you wear a medium typically, would you recommend somebody like your size, a medium is the size to go with, not going down a size because they run a little bit bigger?
Absolutely. So again, having the ability to layer is the best thing in cold weather
100%,
at all.
yeah.
And going from inside of an ice shack to a snowmobile or four-wheeler, you're talking a huge temperature swing. So the ability to easily take this thing off is huge when you get inside of a shack, and you go a smaller size, it just gets tighter, everything gets a little more snug, and it's just kind of, you want to be able to remove this kind of quickly.
Yep.
But again, you want to be able to put it on quickly if that weather changes as well. So even if your hands are damp, or if you're in a t-shirt inside of an ice shack and you get a little bit of water on your arms and stuff like that, it doesn't feel like it's going to stick when you're going to put it on.
I hate that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have something that's a little bit, maybe a size that you're thinking, maybe I'll go smaller, kind of take up some of that little bit of extra room there, it's just going to make it a little bit more difficult to put on and take off. I think that you're not going to want to waste that time doing. And you lose the ability to layer there as well.
Yep.
So when you do get that, say you got that one day a week where it's like, man, I got to get off this week. I know the crappies are biting. I got to get out there. All of a sudden they call for a big cold front to move through, and it's going to be -10, -15 degrees out there. But man, you got to get out there.
You got to go, man. They're biting right now.
Yeah. So to put a layer underneath that, super easy to do. And again, you get a half. You say you go a size smaller, you're going to lose that movement and the ability to layer underneath there. It's going to be key. So I'm 165 pounds. I'm 5'9". This thing fits me absolutely perfectly.
Yep.
Just for size reference, you guys that are looking to order one of these things.
And it's not too long this way either, but it's still long enough to eliminate drafts when you're moving.
Absolutely. So if you're going to be sitting down a lot inside an ice shack or on a bucket, you don't want that kinking being pushed up at all with the front there, and that's going to be huge. So I think it is spot on the right length. We didn't talk about the weight on this thing.
No, go for it, man.
I believe the weight on the medium jacket is under 3 pounds in weight. That's with the flotation, with the insulation, and the fantastic waterproofing ability or capabilities that this suit has. So very lightweight. Again, that goes back to being mobile as well. You don't want to feel like you're dragging 15 pounds of ice suit with you.
Yep.
Especially if you're gonna walk out. That's huge. If you guys are gonna walk out, maybe you're gonna go out in Bago or something like that, or any of these other larger bodies of water, and you're gonna walk, several miles.
Yes.
You do not want to be dragging a heavy suit.
Yep.
And that's one thing I think the Predator suit excels at. It's a little bit lighter weight. Still is going to keep you fantastically warm and mobile, and that was the biggest thing for these.
And the thing about it, everybody, with the savings that we're giving you right now, we really didn't even touch on that. This jacket is $100 off. So again, it's STRPRJ. That's a Striker Predator coat, but normally it's $249.99. We're giving it to you for $149.99.
That's a great deal.
It's a great
deal.
You're silly not to take advantage of. This
Absolutely.
is a safety piece as well. I mean, you think about it, like Tyson said, how often do anglers push the envelope during the ice season, going out on sketchy 2-3 inches of ice?
Absolutely.
Now, we're not telling you that this is going to replace a life jacket and a throwable and all those other things, but it's what you mentioned earlier with your story, and I have a couple of those as well. This is one thing, one simple thing that could give you an extra 30 seconds to get home safely.
Absolutely.
And I mean, it can give you a lot longer than that, but just think about it. In 30 seconds, this thing could keep you up above the water. Somebody could grab you quickly, and somebody could get you back in the boat or back to shore or whatever it may be, so you can go home and enjoy it again the next day and the day after that. So for $149.99, you're silly not to take advantage of
Absolutely.
the Striker Predator code.
Absolutely. And I mean, so early ice, a couple other conditions, stuff like that. If you're going out on early ice, you need an ice pick there.
Yeah.
So it's not going to replace that at all.
Yes.
Peace of mind.
Add that to the cart when you're buying this coat.
Absolutely. But if you go through and you're one of those first guys that are out checking ice and you brought your little tote with you and you're going to maybe sneak out first and there's really nobody else out there, man, if you go through and you cannot get out, the ability that this thing has to float and keep you above the ice for a duration of time is massive. Where if you were by yourself and you've got to tread water and you're using all of your strength to try and get out, you're going to exhaust yourself in about, I think, 10 minutes, I think is max, and then your muscles start to freeze up. So when you have this jacket on and you can the jacket is helping you maintain your flotation instead of having to use all of your energy, that's going to give you probably an extra 30 minutes before, obviously, hypothermia sets in and bad things happen. But that additional time that it's going to keep you above the ice is huge.
It's a huge thing, and there's so many benefits. Again, this is a Striker Ice, this is a Predator in the Veil. This camo looks great. And again, if you're thinking, why do I need camouflage when I'm fishing or I'm out ice fishing? Again, it's just, you can wear it. I've worn mine for snowmobiling, or I'm sorry, snow blowing. I wore it for deer hunting. I mean, You can wear this thing for coyote hunting in the wintertime. This thing looks
Absolutely.
great everywhere, but it's a stylish jacket. It's got a lot of benefits to you. Tyson's standing in a 75-degree room right now, and he's not even sweating one drip. Right, so I mean, this thing, that cross venting, there's a lot of benefits to the Striker Ice. This is a Predator jacket. Take advantage of it. STRPRJ at therealshot.com. $100 off. Normally $249.99, Tyson. $149.99. We're saving you a ton of money, so you can take advantage of all the other great things that are on the Real Shot website. And if you want more information, if you want to get some more testimonials from Tyson, call the store, send us a message to the Facebook page, reach out. Again, Tyson and Nick, these guys are here to help you out. Answer the questions that maybe we didn't do a good job of today, which, dude, I don't know, we covered a ton of stuff.
Covered, I believe we got pretty much everything on the jacket covered here. Yeah, and the biggest thing is we're using it. That's the other thing too. Nick and I are both on the ice and on open water. I'm going to say probably 250 days a year.
Yep.
I mean, myself individually, I'm on the water a lot. Nick's on the water a lot. Heck, he's been going every morning so far.
Yeah.
So, this week.
So again, trust in these guys. Reach out to them, find out. But again, one last time, it's STRPRJ. It's the Striker Predator and the Veil with the Striker camouflage. Take advantage of the $100 off. And I just want to say thank you, everybody, for watching TRS Live. Thank you, Tyson, for joining me. Thank you to Nick Schneiderwent, the Great Lakes specialist from the Real Shot. These guys, like Tyson said, are using the equipment. They know it. They know the insides and outs. And if you talk to them really sweetly, they might have some tips and tricks for you. But we got some more great products coming on the next show. So again, follow, like, smash the subscribe, whatever you got to do. TRS Live, baby. We're here to save you a bunch of money. I'm Matt Trotz, and we'll talk to you real soon.